Okay, so I know that this article is coming out of the UK, but that's neither here nor there. I wish that somebody here would look at what is going on with these men who thought that they had more time to make a family, but wanted to play the field and keep exploring and keep using women until they had to keep jumping to the next woman, and then see what happens when that well runs dry. So this man says, I just assumed it would happen. The unspoken grief of childless men. I wish we explored that more here, and it's just going to be something to watch out for. Father's Day is dangerous for Robert Nurdin. Childless not through choice, but as he puts it, complacency, bad luck, bad judgment. He tries to stay indoors and ignore the family celebrations outside. But one year he went for a walk. I met family after family. There were children everywhere. It was terrible, just so painful, so many ambushes and triggers for my anguish. There is very little research into men who have not had children, although that is beginning to change. Research by Dr. Robin Hadley has found that 25% of men over 42 do not have children, 5 more percent than women of the same age group. Half of the men who are not fathers but wanted to be fathers describe a huge grief and isolation from society. Almost 40% have experienced depression, and a quarter feel deep anger. And I think that these numbers and this research is going to be so important because monogamy, I mean, because of patriarchy, you know, men used to have women lined up because women didn't have choices. Now that women have choices, now that the wage gap is closing, now that women are, choosing to shut down their wombs, we don't have to choose men. And so, what is going to happen to these men that thought that they could just keep playing the field? Now 72, Nurdin had a sheltered upbringing. Reaching adulthood, there was a lot he wanted to experience. Having children was a very low priority. I was complacent. I just assumed it would happen. It was not until he was in his early 40s that Nurdin started to get broody. But by that point, he discovered women of a similar age already had children if they were able to or wanted to. I went into this 15-year period of not going into relationships or ending relationships quickly because I knew that person wasn't going to want or be able to have a child with me, or that the relationship wasn't going to be as strong enough to last if we did have a child. He said, high profile older fathers breed complacency in ordinary men. If I'm honest, even when I was in my 50s, I believed it might happen for me. But in real life, the Mick Jagger and John Snowage fathers are actually very rare. And in any case, it's medically not wise as regards to sperm quality. Now, this article is kind of long, so I'm not going to dive deeper into that. What I want to go into is talking about the delusion that many of these people have. So many of these men, and you see it online, they actually believe that they hit their peak in their 40s and 50s. And they honestly seem to believe their own lies and opinions and delusions. And you'll have so many of us women saying, nobody wants y'all. You guys are mean spirited. Your bodies are postpartum and you haven't had any children. You got boobs. What do you bring to the table? You're mean. You don't want to help out in the home. What do you bring? Why should any woman in their 20s want you? You have a regular job. Many of us have regular jobs. Why should they choose you versus someone in their own age bracket? Why? And I have not seen these males articulate anything that says why a 20 some odd year old would want to date a 40 some odd year old. I have not seen it articulated. I don't know. But this is just me foreshadowing things. It is going to be a lot of geriatric, how should we say this? Gen sales, because they are going to be geriatric and they are not doing that willingly. These gen cells are not going to be gen cells willingly. They are going to be gen cells because of the bad decision making, because they never poured into their relationships, because they thought that women were just going to keep coming, and because they saw a few outliers of men who might be wealthy that could still get a young something or other. They are deluding themselves, and I am here for it. I am here for people living in the houses they create. I am here for people choosing these lives and having to live it. I'm here for these people having to eat from the gardens that they planted and didn't nourish. So that is my take on this. I want y'all to weigh in, like, comment, share.